What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I want to preface what I'm going to say that I'm a proud African American. I also am a Pan-African. I'm more or less, I will be honest, more of a proud African American than a Pan-African because I understand the culture more. But I love all of our people, whether they believe they are our people or not, from Africa, from the African American community, from the Caribbean community. I love all our people. But I do see a little bit of hypocrisy, a lot of hypocrisy sometimes when it comes to other groups who come to America, the Caribbean community, the African community at large, and the African American community towards us, right? And I want to say that Michael B. Jordan was going to start this rum brand called Juve, okay? And why he was going to name it that, I have no idea. And if he was going to name it that, why he was the face of it, I also have no idea, okay? And Juve is, from what I understand, it's celebrating the Caribbean emancipation of slavery, all right? That's what I'm kind of getting into. And to make a long story short, it has something to do with the independence of Caribbeans being free from slaves. At certain points, they were getting really treated really bad by slave owners there. We know that, just like, blacks were getting treated bad in America and also in Brazil. But that's what that means. Now, again, why he wanted to name it that, it's a bad idea, okay? We have enough or many other things that you can call your rum brand that doesn't have to do with black people being in slavery, okay? Nicki Minaj, however, was one of the people that was really pissed off about Michael B. Jordan doing this, okay? And she's saying the brand is named, it's a celebration of Caribbean heritage that signals the beginning of carnival, and it has, ties to that. And critics argue that Jordan should not be the face of the company without having an apparent connection to the Caribbean. So now we want to play those games, right? We want to play those. We want to play these buffoonery games. Okay, I get it. All right. And not only do some Caribbeans play those games, some African people in America play those games. I get it. So he shouldn't be able to name it that because he's not tied to the Caribbean. Okay, well, as African Americans, we also can play that same game too. Which we don't, though, because we're not really that petty as people think we are. See, that's some of the problems that we have in this black community in America and worldwide. People a lot of times want to be able to benefit off the contributions of African Americans in America, because if it wasn't for African Americans, Nicki Minaj ass wouldn't be able to be here. A lot of these Caribbeans who are talking, have something to say, they wouldn't be there. You'd be back in Trinidad. But when it's about the African Americans platforms like the civil rights and the rights to get black scholarships and the rights to go to HBCUs, which, blacks, I'm going to tell you a story. I used to go to Howard University. You used to have students who would get full rides to Howard from Trinidad and Tobago. And do you know their parents had the nerve to tell their kids not to date African Americans when they were getting a scholarship at an HBCU? It happens all the time. Black colleges in America have been educating blacks for years, all over the world. Nigeria, Liberia, Ghana, Jamaica, all through the Caribbean. You've seen our people always try to give a handout. But it seems like in some cases, when you look at something like this, and they can come into our, if we're going to be divisive, they can come into our areas and talk down on us. Nobody says anything about it. You know how many people, not all of them, but people in the Caribbean community that disrespect African Americans quite often? African Americans never come out and say, well, you shouldn't be able to talk about our issues. You shouldn't be able to participate in certain things that we have for us. See, that's why, and then those same folks get mad about hashtag ADOS. See, when Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks, even brother Tariq Nasheed, the FBA, because they were first and Tariq Nasheed came after that with that idea, that we need to separate ourselves from the other groups of blacks in America. A lot of these same folks have a problem with that. Oh no, why you want to separate? Why you want to separate? Oh, but we see why in Juve. So if that's the case, then we should be able to do that, right? And the thing about it is this. With this sort of attitude, and again, he made a mistake. I don't know why he would do that. But if we are not the same people, then we ain't the same people at all. Okay? If Caribbean culture and all of that means so much to all of this, why is everybody, and I'm gonna be honest, why is everybody so always in the African American? Why do those same people gotta always come into the African American groups, the African American popping cultures, trying to get on? I mean, if that's the case, Nicki Minaj, why you wasn't getting on in Trinidad? I mean, since, it's so offensive. And this is what we're talking about. This is what keeps the division going. And again, the brother is stupid, right? But if he don't have no ties to the Caribbean, then Nicki Minaj ain't got no ties to anything that African Americans have culture or shape. None, because Nicki Minaj benefits off the African American card. I don't care what nobody says. Okay? You see Africans in America, certain groups like that, they say certain things. Not all of them do, because we have good brothers and sisters. But whatever they, even legally, even with civil rights and things, for rights that there are people, and we did have Caribbean folks, in America here and there in the 1900s, I'm not saying that we didn't. There were some that were here, for sure. But for all intents and purposes, they have benefited off the African American community. What I want to know is, since you have a problem with Michael B. Jordan using this, what have you done for the African American community at all? Since y'all so offended. What contributions have y'all made to further our people? And I mean, I'm having a conversation just because, you see how offensive you can get, because what if we started acting like that? Because when we started putting the ADOS thing, oh my God, people were shook. Oh no, don't do that. When Tariq Nasheed started doing the FBA, oh no, he's trying to separate us. Okay, well these people now, same thing. Well, you're not tied to the Caribbean heritage. Let me tell you something. Now, why I don't agree with him doing that? To everybody else in the world, whether you come from Trinidad, whether you come from Watts, whether you come from Africa, they look at all of us the same. All right, just so you know that. And you see the same little things, and I mean, and it's just, for me, again, it's stupid for what he did and stuff, but he can't represent, heritage. Let me tell you this. The people that came on those slavery boats, our ancestors, and even why it's stupid, I would say he would have, the thing about it is this. Our people that came over from the Nigerias, the Ghanas, the Gambias, the Biafra Bight, all of our ancestors came over, and some got dropped off in Caribbean culture, in the Caribbeans. Some got dropped off in Brazil. Some got dropped off in America. Those are the same people. The Caribbean people are the most closest people. They are African American if you're talking about genetics. Y'all are our closest people out there. We are really the same people. And yet, this is something like this is happening. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. Check out the first comment in the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at all-time high. Don't get the Black Panther t-shirts. I'm out.